Summer is just around the corner in Germany, and fans of convertibles can't wait. Just in time, Volkswagen is bringing a new open-top version of the Golf onto the market. After close to a decade without one, it's high time. The new convertible is both elegant and sporty, and while it can really burn rubber on the Autobahn, the new Golf is more suited to trips to the beach or cruising along country roads. The VW rep says the car's main focus is on fun. They've concentrated on the suspension tuning and ensured the range of engines and chassis are optimal for cruising. We're testing the most powerful gasoline-powered engine, the 2-liter TSI, which has an output of 155 kilowatts and a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission. It propels the convertible to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.3 seconds. Volkswagen has yet to decide how much the engines in the range will cost when the model hits dealerships this fall. 2 gasoline engines and 1 diesel will be available at the time of market launch. With its open-top EOS and Golf Cabrio, VW now offers 2 very different types of convertibles. Though at first glance, the EOS, seen here on the left, with the Golf on the right, look to have a lot in common. Effner says the EOS and the Golf Cabrio appeal to different clientele, who clearly either prefer the soft top or the hard top. Soft top clients are looking for an authentic convertible experience, while the hard top customers prefer a more discreet look, he says. The VW rep adds that Europe will be the key market for the convertible, mainly Germany, Britain, and France, but that it will also be sold abroad, in China, Japan, and Australia. In these markets, he says, the car maker will offer the convertible in a premium equipment version. Naturally, because we want to test out the soft top version, it starts to rain. Well, at least we know that it's watertight. The fully automated roof retractor opens in just 9 seconds, even while the vehicle is in motion, provided you're not going more than 30 kilometers an hour. Is the new Golf a worthy successor to VW's classic convertible models? Let's take a look back. Effner says this was the car that founded the legend, the Golf 1 Cabriolet. Introduced in 1979, it paved the way for a generation of convertibles. He notes that it was the first truly affordable open-top car, created at a time when many dreamed of owning one. Its fixed roll bar led people to fondly dub it the strawberry basket. And here is a fittingly colored strawberry basket in action. The first Golf convertibles were fitted with either a 70 or 110 horsepower engine. Convertible versions were still made for the 3rd and 4th generation Golfs, but the open-top version's success streak really ended with the 2nd generation of the model in 1993. Production of the last Golf convertibles came to a halt in 2002. Yet in just over 2 decades, Volkswagen has sold some 680,000 cabrios around the globe. Today, most major car makers have a small convertible in their range. VW is keen to emphasize that the latest Golf also marks a return to the model's roots. Effner says back then convertibles used to be offered in the upper price ranges, but that with the Golf 1 Cabrio, VW was able to make the open-top driving experience available and affordable. That's what made it so successful and legendary. So the new car has big shoes to fill. It's classic, yet modern. The fact that VW has opted against a fixed roll bar lends the car a new aura, but without compromising on safety. A rollover protection system hidden behind the rear seats deploys instantly when required. Like its predecessors, the new Golf convertible boasts chrome trim, which gives it a distinct shoulder line. Its interior can seat 4. All of the features available for regular Golf models are also offered with the convertible. In Germany, prices for the new Golf start at just under 24,000 euros. That makes the soft-top Golf almost 4,500 euros cheaper than the hard-top EOS. But with the Golf, you have to pay for many little extras, which can quickly eat up those savings. In Germany, Peugeot currently tops the car registration rankings for convertibles. Its 207cc, which sells for under 20,000 euros, is the country's best-selling open-top car. So the new Golf has its work cut out for it. Faster, bigger, better used to be the mantra at international auto shows. But now manufacturers are turning their focus elsewhere to promoting greater fuel efficiency and lower emissions. The Barcelona International Motor Show is a case in point. Here, Hyundai's new mid-range sedan, the i40, is making its world premiere. CO2 emissions are increasingly important, also due to car taxes in most countries, says the Hyundai Germany rep. This was a central point when developing the i40, he says, which now has the lowest CO2 emissions in its segment. The Hyundai produces 113 grams of CO2 per kilometer, a remarkable figure in this class. And the sedan's designers have given it some striking lines, proving that eco-friendly cars needn't look dull. Overall, the design is more dynamic than with previous Hyundai models. The i40's curving window lines and roof lend it the air of a coupe. He says Hyundai makes sure the vehicles they sell in Europe, especially those in high-volume segments, are developed and designed here. The i40 was created in Germany, but also makes a good impression on the streets of Barcelona, especially as a station wagon. With a length of 4.77 meters, it's a real challenger for the likes of the VW Passat and Ford Mondeo. Whether on an outing in the country or in the city, the i40 boasts all manner of creature comforts. Hyundai offers all the usual optional extras, which make drivers' lives easier. The whole interior, including the dashboard, is perfectly matched. Materials and workmanship are also top quality. Here, everything fits, the view and the overview. Thanks to its standard 6-speed transmission and perfectly tuned suspension, the i40 offers powerful and smooth driving performance. Its precise steering means that the car holds the road well. Hyundai expects the variant with a 1.7-liter, 100-kilowatt diesel engine to be the most popular. Acceleration is only average, but at 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers, the model's fuel efficiency is anything but. The i40 has a starting price of 24,000 euros in Germany. The i40 also met the car journalists' expectations over the long haul. This journalist says it drives well and is a nice touring car, especially the automatic. The diesel works well, it's comfortable and roomy, he thinks. Its trunk is easy to access and opens wide. The Hyundai boasts up to 1,710 liters of cargo space, on a par with its competitors in the station wagon segment, and provides good value for the money.
Hello. Right. It's basically all the equipment that you get for a good price, and it's the modern styling and the design that impresses them the mostly.
Hyundai hopes to make inroads into the car fleet business, which in Germany has mainly been dominated by domestic manufacturers. The i40, which will be introduced here in the fall, could be the South Korean firm's big break. The new A6 Avant sees Audi introducing the 7th generation of its best-selling executive class model. The 5-meter-long wagon immediately makes an elegant but sporty impression. Around 20% of the body is made of aluminum. The weight saving, up to 70 kilos depending on the version, is a factor in the engine's improved fuel economy. The new A6 Avant will go on sale for prices starting at just under 40,000 euros in Germany. BMW is celebrating its 2 millionth motorcycle, which recently came off the production line in Berlin. The plant in the Spandau area has been making bikes for the global market since 1969. The machine in question is a BMW R1200 GS in a special Berlin edition. The 1,900-strong workforce at the plant turn out up to 510 motorbikes a day, as well as 24,000 brake discs for BMW's car division. A bit of rain is the least of worries for a fully fledged SUV like the Range Rover Sport. Today, the challenge is provided by its Japanese rival, the Infiniti FX 30D. Infiniti is Nissan's high-end marquee and only recently debuted on the European market. On the design front, the two could hardly be more different. While the Range Rover Sport has bold edges, the FX 30D has smoother contours and a more elegant appearance, unusual for an SUV. Contrast that with the trademark Land Rover nose. With the FX 30D, the lines converge at the back. It has a sloping rear, while the Range Rover Sport possesses a classic straight back. Looking at the Infiniti from the back, the rear lights reach around the sides. In addition, a roof spoiler underlines the car's sporting aspirations. Compare that with the Range Rover Sport's more reserved look. The bold contours continue on the inside, and the wood inserts are a nice touch. They fit in perfectly and are testimony to excellent workmanship. The seats provide sound side support, off-road as well. Very welcome is the Range Rover's relatively limited amount of interior gadgetry. It does fine with just the necessary knobs and switches. The Infiniti's interior feels smaller due to the exterior contours. It likewise features wood trim. The seats provide similarly good support, but are designed more for the highway than for off-road terrain. The cabin has an over-the-top futuristic feel. The Range Rover Sport is based on the Land Rover Discovery and thus profits from all the experience of that model. The Sport designation stems from the model's more dynamic handling, itself a product of smaller dimensions and weight. The Range Rover offers precisely what our car tester Matas Kurat expects from an off-roader: a high seat position and a great driver's view all around the vehicle, plus the bold body contouring. You can also pay extra for a system that has a series of cameras installed, he says, which relay what they see to the display in the center console. Matas likes the knob in the middle that allows you to switch between different terrain settings. It makes off-road adventures less daunting for the uninitiated. This terrain response system is fitted as standard in the Range Rover Sport, but our car expert notices the difference with the Infiniti FX 30D. One thing you need to forget about when you get into Infiniti FX is the notion that you're sitting in an SUV. It's almost like being in a regular car, with one difference. It's a very big car, so you have less of an overview. But the high-class Nissan does have its positive sides as well. The Infiniti boasts an extensive range of features in the premium version, says Matas, and it's all free except for the metallic paint job for €900. You get cameras on every corner, a park assist, sat-nav, a multimedia interface for your iPod, as well as USB sticks or an MP3 player. You're spoiled with everything your heart could desire, he says.
Man wird verwöhnt mit allem, was das Herz begehrt.
The 3-liter diesel is a brand new development from Infiniti, and although it has a little less power, Matas thinks the car is quicker off the mark than the Range Rover Sport. And the Infiniti is similarly up to date on the safety front. The FX comes with 6 airbags and an intelligent speed regulator. We tried out the S Premium version of the Infiniti FX 30D. The V6 diesel engine delivers 175 kilowatts of power and, according to the manufacturer, consumes just 9 liters of diesel over 100 kilometers. It makes the dash to 100 kilometers per hour in 8.3 seconds. The Range Rover Sport also has plenty up its sleeves, including 8 airbags and off-road features galore, such as air suspension, active roll mitigation, and hill descent control. These, combined with a terrain response system, make the Range Rover Sport a real off-roader. The Infiniti is no comparison and is simply not equipped for the task. The Range Rover Sport comes with a 3.0 TD V6 engine delivering 180 kilowatts, with official fuel economy 9.2 liters for 100 kilometers. To sum up, the Range Rover Sport is a proper off-road vehicle, while the Infiniti is merely a pretender that should really stick to the roads. That said, the FX30D does have all the important features fitted as standard. The Range Rover will cost you extra in that department. Even for experienced automotive journalists like Martin Westerhof, this is something special. The Peugeot 908 HDI FAP packs an incredible 515 kilowatts or 700 horsepower. It won the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2009. Usually only a professional is allowed in the cockpit of a purebred racer like this one. But Cujo is making an exception for us. Because of new regulations, the 908 won't be allowed back on the track at Le Mans this June. It's heading for the museum instead. But before it enters retirement, we're allowed to take it out for a spin. This is a machine that demands and commands respect. The raw data on the car is awe-inspiring. Under the hood is a 5.5-liter V12 turbo diesel engine that weighs 930 kilograms. The Peugeot can accelerate from a standstill to 100 kilometers an hour in under 2.5 seconds and hit 200 in just under 6 seconds. A top speed of 340 kilometers an hour is achieved with the help of a staggering 1,200 Newton meters of torque. To really get the most out of the 908, you have to know what you're doing. Like Anthony Davidson on the left. The British racing driver is a member of the Peugeot team and took part in the 2010 Le Mans 24 Hours race. Davidson is like a chauffeur and driving instructor all rolled into one. He's going to show Martin Westerhof the ins and outs of driving the 908. First, Martin spends a couple of laps in the passenger seat. He's feeling confident. After all, how hard can that be? Worse than you think. Things start slow, but that's deceptive. Before long, Martin is being thrown in all directions at 3 times his own body weight. He can't keep his head under control. The helmet slips. It's unbelievable how sensitive the brakes are and the speeds at which this car can take a hairpin turn.
You feel more responsibility. You're more worried about their safety, so you naturally drive a little bit slower, but not so much. But it's good fun to see their reaction. It's very special.
Driving class is over. Now it's Martin's turn to get behind the wheel. He's learned respect, but he's determined to make a good showing. Now that he knows what this diesel-powered monster can do, he doesn't want to disgrace himself. The engine doesn't sound like a diesel. He has to be careful not to flood it. Under 2,000 RPM, the engine begins to choke and gurgle because the turbochargers can't function properly. Martin is up and running. The track is open. Time to cut loose. The curves slip by at high speed. Shift, shift, shift! The warning lights flash almost faster than he can react. The car's aerodynamics allow top speeds and curves that impress even experienced racing drivers. Before long, muscles are cramping all over Martin's body. His hands are locked on the steering wheel. Anyone who was able to drive like this for hours, with 20 other drivers on the track, has to be in top physical condition. Martin says that it was an incredible experience to pilot the model that won the 2009 Le Mans race. You have to imagine it's 700 horsepower, almost Formula One power. He still can't believe he drove it. It's like riding a rocket up to the starting line, pushing a button and holding on for dear life. And he didn't even begin to push the envelope to what the car can do, he says. It was a breathtaking, fantastic experience. On the 4-kilometer-long Paul Ricard track in France, Martin's lap was only around 11 seconds slower than that of the professional driver. Not bad for a first attempt. Too bad that this car's next stop is the museum.